Hey everybody, peace and blessings to you, and thank you for clicking on this video. I hope this video meets you well. I am recording on April 17th, 2025, and it is, I'm going to just show you if I can. The sun. Yeah, camera never does it justice, but you can see that little section right here. Can you see it? Where my finger's at? That's the sun rising and shining through my window. You can see the sun shining on my laptop. It's just gorgeous. I love days like this when the sun is just peeking through. You can see the sun rays and it's peeking through your windows. I just love it. I love it. I love it. So this is another Latisha Learns Tarot video. I'm gonna do these until I don't feel like doing them anymore, you know. And I just recorded a morning vibes check video. You know, some of my morning videos I call early morning thoughts, but that one I call vibes check or early morning vibes because I was coming from a more emotional place than mental place. It wasn't thoughts, they were just feelings, there was just energy, there was just a heaviness, and I had to make myself a cup of calm tea, Heinlei's calm tea with ashwagandha, honey, lavender. I love this. I buy this from Amazon because it's the only place I ever seen it. And I made myself a cup of calm tea and recorded a video just to share the vibes, and in the process of recording that video, my energy, my vibration that was low lifted, and I'm feeling a lot lighter, and I'm feeling a lot better, and I feel less energetically heavy. So what we're gonna do is, what I did is I pulled some cards, these two, this morning, Knight of Pentacles and Queen of Swords, because I just wanted to see what would come up, because my vibes were a little bit heavy and dense, and I wasn't feeling so great. So I want to see what will come up coming out of that space. I was just curious. So since two new cards came up, I felt like maybe it would be cool to do another Latisha Learns Tarot video discussing those two cards. All right, so the first thing I did was in the Google search, I typed swords card meaning in tarot. Okay, because we are looking at the Queen of Swords today. So let's figure out what the suite, I've not figured out if that is suite or suit of swords, but let's figure out what the suite or suit of swords mean. In the AI overview, my favorite thing now these days when I search and ask Google questions is to read the AI overview. I just find that it's very simple, uncomplicated information that you can easily just get at the top. You don't have to figure out where to go, you just get at the top. So the AI overview says, in tarot, the suite of swords, like, feel free to say any comments, whether, if I don't even know how you can do that. If you could figure out how to tell me in the comments whether it is suite or suit, that would be greatly appreciated. In tarot, the suite of swords primarily relates to the mental processes, communication, and intellectual challenges. I see that's very, very interesting already, because like I said, I was having challenges with my mental today, and I was more in my vibes, in my energy, in my emotion, and not my mental. The cards represent themes of clarity, conflict, and the sharp edges of truth. Swords can symbolize both the potential for new ideas and the possibility of emotional wounds or mental turmoil. Here is a more detailed breakdown. Key themes and meanings: mental clarity and new ideas. The suite of swords often signifies mental acuity, the ability to analyze situations, and the emergence of new ideas. Conflict and challenges. Swords can also represent conflict, difficult decisions, and the need to overcome obstacles. Communication and truth. The Suite of Swords is associated with the communication, the need to express oneself clearly, and the unveiling of truths, which can sometimes be painful. Emotional wounds. Swords can also symbolize emotional pain, heartbreak, and the potential for mental distress. Cutting away excess. The sharp edges of the swords can also represent the need to cut away negativity, outdated beliefs, or limiting patterns to move forward. Wow, this one here definitely resonates with me right there, more than any other. But all of it, to be honest. Individual cards, briefly. Ace of Swords, new beginnings, breakthrough, and mental and sharp intellect. Two of Swords, indecision, difficult choices, and a need for balance. Three of Swords, heartbreak, grief, and potential for moving on. Eight of Swords, feeling trapped, restricted, and overwhelmed by negative thoughts. Ten of Swords, endings, the aftermath of a difficult period, and the potential for a new beginning. So it doesn't seem to have, okay. It doesn't have all the the entire suite of swords, but in summary, swords in tarot represent the power of the mind, the challenges of communication, and the potential for both intellectual growth and emotional turmoil. They encourage us to analyze situations, express ourselves clearly, and confront difficult truths to move forward. And if I had the time to really process it, I would say that this is probably, the swords card is probably the right card for the moment, because I am having difficulties with expressing myself and mental challenges and in need of clarity and thinking about things and trying to make a decision, especially being that it is now spring and I am reading all the stuff that happened in the news and wondering if I should leave the country, but ain't it really possible? It's not gonna be that easy to leave the country with a family of 7, so we have to stay put maybe, and figuring out how we're gonna do that in what capacity so that we could be safe and protected, and how to go about living, moving through spring, what kind of actions to take during spring, to move us forward and to move us into where we need to go, towards the future, like preparing for the future. The swords symbolizes the intellect and the heart and the emotions which always suffer under this treatment. The Four of Swords symbolize avoidance, setting problems to the side. The swords are on the wall while one prays for deliverance. This card can represent surrender or in some cases pacifism. All right, I just read that out of curiosity. That was just a little clip from the Wikipedia page, the Suite of Swords. Okay, so let's go and look into this Queen of Swords card. So the first thing I want to tell you about the two cards that I pulled today is I read both of them up front. So I got an idea what they're about. And I'm already thinking, and this is a couple, these two people represented in these cards as described would make a good couple because they're on the same page in terms of what they're trying to do. They're just doing it differently. They're going about it differently. She is more of a processor and a fighter, and she goes about it in a more logistical, thinking about it, intellectual kind of way, and he goes about it in a more spiritual, calm, kind of intuitive kind of way, right? And the funny thing is that I more resonate with the guy in this description, the Knight of Pentacles, than I do with the Queen of Swords, with the female. The female kind of feels more along the lines of where my husband is, and I feel like this is how I'm doing my work, and this is how we as a couple are moving through this timeline, trying to make decisions for our future, to keep our family safe, that is best for our future in these times that we're in. So I feel like I resonate more with him and what the description of him, what he's doing at this time, how he's going about it, than her. But let's go read. Let's go find out what it says. Like I said, I read it up front, so I got an idea, but I'm going to read it to you now. Let's do it together. Swords. So now we understand that swords is about mental and intellectual and thinking and processing. It has a lot to do with the mind and making decisions through, you know, the mind and making a choice and being decisive and all that kind of stuff. And this is a Queen of Swords card. So this is one of the big guns, right? This is, I think, to me, a higher level of a specific stage, a specific phase in a person's journey. So this is a high level card from what I gather. The Queen of Swords, tarot meaning. I speak my existence into being with wisdom and clarity. Now this quote resonates with me deeply. I speak my existence into being with wisdom and clarity. Queen of Swords, key meaning. Light seer, upright. An excellent communicator, an advisor, unbiased decision maker, independence, wise and logical counsel, seeking truth, wit, quick thinking, honesty. And again, I feel like this person here doesn't resonate with me as much as I feel as though this person sounds more along the lines of my husband and where he's at in making decisions as the leader of the as the leader of the household, or I don't know if I want to say it that way, but as the partner who is the one, you know, as a man of strength, as a man of let's say the masculine divine. You know, I just I'm like I said, I'm in a season of unlearning and using my language very carefully. So, you know, just figuring out what language resonates with me. What is my language that I want to take and use moving forward? And what is the language that have been passed on to me that I've learned from growing up and hearing from other sources, you know? So something like that. Shadow seer, sharp and sometimes cold communicator, striving to use your words wisely, a need to refrain from being mean or emotional, indifference, or a message to use your head more and your heart less, aloofness. Okay, there you go. So again, I sound more like my husband, like a more, you know, a logical thinker, and will make decisions based on logic and what is physically happening and what he can physically see and what he knows, and not on an intuitive spiritual level. So Queen of Swords overview. Highly astute, intellectual and honest. The Queen of Swords sits calmly overlooking her kingdom. She knows she appears aloof to some, but she is simply tuning out the low vibe drama, sound like my husband, that is clamoring for her attention. She prefers to remain laser focused on the future of her kingdom. Again, still sound like my husband. And she lights it up here. With the gentle winds of insight, the only company for her own thoughts. Graceful and level-headed, she finds it easy to reign over her life when she's able to see the bigger picture from the bird's eye view. She takes a deep breath in. Clarity. Sometimes she is judged to be too sharp and strict, yet underneath her cool exterior, she knows how deeply she cares for those around her, and oh, how she cares about the state of the world. Sounds like my husband. So much so that she is always seeking the truth that lies hidden beyond the mask that people, places, and structures wear. She seeks the truth in her relationship, in her communication, in her action, and in her rule. She loves to communicate, and when she does engage in conversation, she speaks authentically, aligned, and in full integrity with her principles. Her wisdom is framed in logic and proof, and she avoids the gossip or fluff that others may want to engage in. Leading with her head does not make her cold-hearted. She always has access to her cup of emotion, which lies tucked away at her feet. She prefers to remain up here where the winds of strategy, logic, and communication rule. There is a great power in truth and so much light hidden within. And as usual, look at the difference between the two cards, how it is represented, how the two cards are represented, and which one seems more modern and new age, and which one seems more rigid and old and completely different energy, completely different world. Message from the Queen of Swords. It's time for direct communication and straightforward interpretation in your situation. This powerful queen asks you to be honest in your relationship, direct in your speech, witty if you want to be. But above all, bring your clear-headed, unbiased reasoning to the table. Bolster your finely tuned BS director by letting go of how you feel about the situation and objectively consider the facts. It's a time to ask your perceptive mind and your loyalty and your loyal heart to evaluate the situation from a higher perspective. What to do? What do you know to be true? And where are you filling in the gaps and making it up based on your assumptions? While this card suggests a time for candor, sometimes this communication style can come across as cold or cutting. So if you are having trouble communicating something that is difficult for another person to hear, know that you can always dip your toe in the cup of empathy and compassion to help with your delivery. Sharp analysis and careful consideration are always intelligent moves, as is being able to clearly connect with others in a way that is easily accepted and understood. Your clear heart and clear mind will allow you to speak the truth always. Questions for the seer. What truth needs to be spoken? The Queen of Swords can represent independence and not needing approval from others. This can be healthy, but in excess, this can be a defense mechanism that hides insecurities under the guise of not caring. Where do you sit with this? All right, so the next card is the Knight of Pentacles, and I looked up Pentacles card meaning in tarot. The AI overview on Google is what it says. In tarot, the Pentacle suite or coins represents our suit. The Pentacle suit or suite. The Pentacle suit or suite or coins represent the material world, earthly resources, and practical concerns. It's strongly associated with the earth element and the signs Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, which is very interesting because I'm a Virgo. Pentacles cards typically deal with finances, career, possessions, and material well-being, as well as grounding emotions like stability and security. Here's a more detailed look. General meaning. The Pentacles suite embodies the physical realm, practical skills, and the tangible aspects of life, including finances, prosperity, and career. So again, this is why I think the two of these people and two of these energies make a good balanced couple, you know, because they're doing the same, they're on the same mission, which is, you know, making decisions towards building a life and a family or a kingdom in a practical sense, and they're looking at these different aspects of it, you know. And she's like, this person is on more the intellectual end of figuring that out, and this person is more on a connection to the earth way of doing it, you know. Key, all right, where am I? Associated elements and signs. It's linked to earth element and the zodiac signs Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And I find it very interesting that this one, I asked the question, is the same kind of way, but they didn't say what elements and signs was associated with the swords, but it does say it with the pentacles. And it's funny enough that it does mention Virgo as one of those signs, because like I said, I'm a Virgo, which are, okay, it's linked to the earth element and the zodiac signs Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, which are known for their groundedness, practicality, and focus on material stability. Key themes. Pentacles cards explore the themes of material wealth. This includes money, possessions, and financial stability, career and work opportunities, career growth, and practical skills needed to succeed. Nature and earth, a connection to the natural world and its resources. Stability and security, a need for a solid foundation and a sense of safety. Emotion, grounding emotions, focusing on practical matters can help balance emotions. Individual card meanings. The individual cards within the Pentacles suite offer more specific insights. Ace of Pentacles represents new beginnings, opportunities, and the manifestation of prosperity. Two of Pentacles talks about finding balance between obligations and pleasures and adaptability. Four of Pentacles highlight the importance of stability but warns against letting it become isolating. Five of Pentacles can indicate hardship, isolation, and financial struggles, but also resilience and growth. Ten of Pentacles represents generational wealth, stability, and a sense of belonging. Negative aspect. While Pentacles often represent abundance and prosperity, they can also signify greed, materialism, and a lack of focus on other important aspects in life. Okay. So let's look at the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. Seed by seed, which I love that I already started with this quote, because, you know, I have made reference to the fact that I believe that me and my YouTube channel and the videos that I create is like sowing seeds into the soil towards the future and the world that I want to live in. There's sowing seeds in the soil of being a change I want to see in the world. Seed by seed, I plant my future with my rock-steady foundations of faith. I love it. And like I said, the Knight of Pentacles seem more aligned with me than the Queen of Swords, even though the Knight of Pentacles is, you know, representative of a masculine person on the card. The Knight of Pentacles key meanings: light seer, upright, diligence and hard work, determination, steadfastness, material security, safety, expansion. Shadow seer reversed, focusing solely on material, not doing the work, being selfish or cold, laziness, taking harmful shortcuts, stagnation, or feeling stuck. Knight of Pentacles overview. He's toiling and tilling his lands and enjoying every minute of it. The Knight is a little more practical than the other Knights. This Knight is a little more practical than the other Knights. With his steadfast momentum and his consistent earthbound energy, he's here to improve for himself, improve things for himself and for those he loves. And he remains devoted to solidifying his already stellar foundations. He carries his pentacle shield on his back because the Knight is into safety and security. Barefoot, he walks, feels, earthing his energy and soaking up the life force that is available to us all when we spend time in nature. He trusts the deep magic that is happening beneath the surface, the roots, the fungi, the worms, and the nutrients, and all hidden earth flowing. He has found the flow here, working happily in a state of peaceful zen. As Shakir today will multiply your harvest tomorrow. Of that he assures you. Since we know him to be loyal and trustworthy, we can accept this as truth. And as I said, this card resonates with me more than the Queen of Swords and where I feel like I am. And I, even before I read this description, I did notice that he was barefoot. And the first thing that came to my mind was grounding. He was grounding himself. And you know, in this description, they use the word earthing, and I could tell you there's a power in the soles of your feet. The soles of my feet crave to feel connection to the earth and connection to the floor and the ground, but mostly the earth. It is beautiful to feel the grass underneath on your feet and the sand, and to connect with Mother Nature with your bare feet. There's nothing more precious than that. And the thing I love about this image compared to the old one is, you see, again, he is a knight wearing his big, heavy physical armor. This guy's armor is just his energy. This guy's armor is not a big, heavy metal or whatever armor is made out of, metal armor, or that material, the material that armor is made out of is his energy, is his protection, and then he wears that protective pentacle on his back, protecting his back from anything that he can't see, any energy or anything coming at him from behind. He's protected, his back is protected, his spine and his being is protected. And the horse is following. He's not on this horse dominating the horse. The horse is his friend. That's the vibe I get. The horse is his friend and not his tool, not something, a creature to dominate and to have carry me. But we walk alongside each other. That's the vibes I'm getting, So different energy, different vibes. I love this energy more and this vibes more because it feels more modern and enlightened and expanded, and it just feels like more enlightened. Message from the Knight of Pentacles. Are you taking pride in your effort to move your goals forward? It's time to show fierce loyalty to your home and fierce dedication to your abundance and to your material success. I'm in that energy right now. Yes, that's where I am. Yes, that's where I am. Yes, that's where I am. Finding your energizing, unwavering ambitions for the future. Sometimes this energy feels so secure and stable that it feels repetitive. So if you are feeling resistance to inner or outer work, or if you kind of prefer to stay in bed, he asks you to find both determination and joy in the progress. The journey is the thing. Patience and diligence for are called for at this time to use your productivity as a tool to measure your steady movement towards your dream and spend some time logging your progress. Uncover heart-stirring enthusiasm by allowing yourself to truly believe in something brighter. This is a card of infinite expansion, and with time and faith, your seeds will take. By following through on your plans and promises and making sure that you don't overpromise or underdeliver, you will move any stuck energy that sits in the way of you and your dreams, In your shadow, this card can indicate stagnancy. You may be stuck in a routine or acting in a way that is unduly rigid or safe. When life becomes a grind, and when your desire to be efficient and productive becomes extremely extreme conservatism or boredom, it's time to seek new adventures and try new things. You can shake things up and still be rooted in your goals. Seek to enjoy the day-to-day, knowing that you can hustle creatively and that you can work, laugh, and love all at the same time. Questions for the seer. Step by step, row by row, what foundations are you creating? How secure do you feel in your day-to-day life? And if you are feeling vulnerable, what needs to change so that you can relax more into your own natural rhythm? When do you find your zen, your state of flow? How can you bring more of that into your life? So there we go. And this is, I would have to say, this is like my fourth Learning with Tarot video that I've recorded. Latisha Learns Tarot, Learning Tarot video that I've recorded. And I have to say, I pull the cards on days where I feel like my energy is in such a readable state, where I know where my energy is at, where my mind's at clearly, so that I can see how the cards, if I am pulling cards that resonate with the moment, resonate with the time, and may offer some sort of inspiration or answer or help, if these cards actually do the thing, and I have to say, so far, so on point. These are the right cards for the right moment and the right energy, and where my thoughts have been at and where my energy is at. So another score for this tarot deck, and I love doing these videos. I find them to be fun. I love it. I love how it gives me the opportunity to compare old energies and old mindset with new energies and new mindset. And, it really does help too. The words are just positive and powerful and enlightening. And this is definitely a light seers tarot, light seers, It is not, the focus isn't darkness. The focus isn't ugly and scary. The focus is living in the light, even while facing your shadows. So you can start to move into the light, move through the light, and move into healing and upgrading and ascending and awakening and enlightenment and elevation and all those wonderful, wonderful, wonderful words. Moving into something better and new and modern, and finally getting to the point where our generation takes the lead and does life differently. I can't wait till these old mindsets like freaking die. I mean, I can't wait till they officially just die and disappear. Because it's time for this old energy to go. It's time for these old mindsets to go. And I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. I really have fun doing it. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and help me grow my community. help me grow my community and move into something better. Prepare for the future that I want to live in, which is a future of light. And I don't mind there being a balance between light and dark, contrasts. I don't mind night and day. I just don't like the imbalance, you know. And I think that miserable people, people that want to hurt other people, and people that want to control other people need to crawl back into their holes and just stay there till they die. That's how I see it. They need to just crawl into their dens and their caves and their holes and go back on the ground and just stay there and stay out of people's way and let people live. Let people live. Let people be free and let people live in the light. And in enlightenment and knowledge and understanding and growth, and not look for external savior, but be the heroes of their own story and be their own saviors. I just ready to see change and be the change that I want to see in the world. And more conversations to be had. But for now, that is it for now. Oh gosh, what does the future hold? Thank you for listening and watching.